Scandalous popes of the Middle Ages. Interesting. See, as a Christian, this is going to be interesting. Yeah, this doesn't surprise me. There's probably some popes who were not probably a few popes that were not good people or did some horrendous shit. This is by Salmonella. Yep. Salmonella Academy. Yeah, we'll jump in. Interesting name again. Very interesting name. We're gonna look at that. We're gonna look at these popes. The Popus.
This video is sponsored by Skillshare.
Today's episode, Scandalous Popes of the Middle Ages. Yeah, they're probably gonna whore around quite a few as well.
Hey kids, time to alienate 23.9% of the United States from my potential audience, because today, we're talking popes. Now don't get me wrong, the modern papacy is a great thing. Just a genuinely virtuous man being elected to govern and set an example for
You're good, just try not to be a dick, okay?
Christians everywhere, that's awesome. But back in the day, not so. See, in the Middle Ages, the church was one of the greatest powers in the Western world, having massive influence over monarchs and laymen alike. And as we know, with great power comes great tomfoolery. Here's some of the less wholesome.
That's very true. That's not just, yeah, we could see it on politicians as well, right? Which essentially the church was politics back then. Essentially.
Some popes that history has to offer. Pope Stephen VI assumed the pontificate in May of 896, during a time of great instability for the papacy, where rulers and families of all different shapes and sizes were vying for influence over the Catholic Church. As such, successive popes from this period often had different ideas about how things should be run. Stephen, for example, didn't much care for Pope Formosus, the guy.
Pope Formosus. Sus? Among Us? Interesting. Okay, let's see where this is going. What is he doing? What did he do? Did he get rid of the pope, of this pope? Did he just like annihilate homie? Take him out? Remove him from existence?
Guy before last. Why? It's complicated. Even if I could
Yeah, sorry that happened. Congratulations, I ain't reading all that.
wrap my head around all this, it'd probably be boring as hell, so just take it on good faith that Steve had a lot of beef with Formosus. So much beef, or as we call it, papal bull, that Stephen couldn't even be happy that the dude was already dead, so he had the 8
Bro didn't... That's some generational beef. That is some generational beef. He dug him out.
month-old corpse of Formosus dug up, dressed up in pope clothes, sat down on a throne, and literally put on trial, with a deacon appointed.
He put a dead man on trial?
To give all his responses for him. So you thought you could get away from the law with that little dying stunt of yours? Well, tell me, Mr. Thrombosis, did you violate canon law, commit perjury, and pretend to be a bishop when you weren't? Yes, pasta fazool, I am a fool. I've heard all I need
Accurate. I would do that too, just to spite my enemy.
to hear. This court finds you guilty, and everything you did as Pope, we legally declare to be fake and dumb and stupid and dumb. Now throw him in the river. What? The river? Can he do that? See the hat? That means I'm Pope. P-O-O-P Pope.
Couldn't he just throw... Well, technically you wouldn't throw him back in there, right? You would remove his grave. I don't know, do crazy shit, right? You won't just remove his grave and put his corpse somewhere else because, well, he isn't a pope, so to speak, then, right?
You better 3-point that bitch into the briny deep right quick, or I'm gonna raise hell. Metaphorically. So they throw him in the river. This whole thing caused an uproar among Formosus supporters, and after Formosus's corpse was allegedly seen performing miracles at the riverbank, Stephen ended up being overthrown, imprisoned, and executed by
Strangulation. Reposo.
The body, now slimy and disgusting, was fished out of the Tiber and reinterred in St. Peter's Basilica, where it rests to this day. Next, we'll talk about John XII.
Well, that's not too big of a deal then. Happy ending, some way, in some way, shape, or form, I guess. Huh?
This guy already looks like one of my characters. Why don't we just, yeah, there we go. This guy ascended to the throne when he was just 18 years old, which is...
That's kind of funny. I mean, yeah, kinda.
Insane. If I was elected world's biggest hat wearer at that age, you better believe things would get real unpapal real quick. I'm talking gambling, hookers, setting fires, and toasting to the devil. And when you know it, these are all things John XII did. It's said that he took...
Again, this doesn't surprise me. This doesn't surprise me.
Took the sacred palace and literally made it into a whorehouse. Matter of fact, while
Damn, that Pope had it going on. That Pope had some very popely duties.
While researching the guy, I stumbled across this list of sexually active popes. This is a real Wikipedia.
There is an actual Wikipedia. Homosexual relations, bisexual relations. Crazy.
Wikipedia article. Take a hike, toilet paper orientation. Daddy's got a new favorite. John is featured prominently on this list, of course. He had a thing for widows for some reason. Personally, I'm not.
It's like, I guess it's just easier. It's easier. It's easier, right? The grieving, the vulnerable, and the competition just died.
Not big on weepy old hags. I'm more of a carefree young hag type of guy, but to each their own. He also banged his niece a bunch, which not the most virtuous.
Yeah. Royalty. A classic.
Act, but you know, Middle Ages and bloodline, fucking whatever. His playboy lifestyle eventually caught up to him though, leading to the Synod of Rome, where everyone got together to talk about what a piece of shit he is so they could kick him off the throne. Besides all the deviancy, there was a lot of things they had problems with. For one, someone once offered John some money to ordain a 10-year-old as a bishop, and he was just like, alright, I would have done it for free, honestly.
A 10-year-old bishop? That's interesting.
Look how big those robes are on him, that's hilarious. He also had a deacon ordained in a horse stable, just like, oh, for fuck's sake, alright, let's get this over with. Shouldn't we be doing this in like, a church? Listen, bucko, if it's good enough for Jesus to be born in, it's good enough for you to have your little cardinal party.
I guess he isn't wrong, he isn't fully wrong.
No, sir, not cardinal, he's just a deacon. Not if you keep running your mouth, you aren't. He also liked going on hunting trips now and then, generally considered to be something popes don't do, although my suspicion is that they were just tired of cleaning his
Yeah, I don't think that's a big deal, I guess.
Big stupid camo hat every time. Probably his worst act though was putting on a helmet, followed closely in second by the time one of his subdeacons got on his nerves, so he literally cut off his dick and murdered him. So
That's radical.
between all this and some conflicts with Otto I of the Holy Roman Empire, John was uncanonically ousted in 963. Except as soon as Otto left Rome, nobody was there to pressure him off physically anymore, so John was like, lol, just kidding, rounded up all his groupies, kicked the new pope off the throne, and continued his role like nothing happened.
That's a thug life pope right there. Bro didn't.
By early 964, but just a few months later, fate caught up with John, and he died the way he lived, committing adultery. Now let's be
Wait, what? Interesting. Let me read that. According to Liutprand of Cremona, John died while enjoying an adulterous sexual encounter outside Rome, either as the result of apoplexy or at the hands of an outraged husband. Huh, interesting.
Let's be real. We all have our little guilty pleasures in life. Some people like a nice bag of Cheetos. Others like scented candles or poorly drawn educational videos. Alexander VI liked watching horses fuck.
Oh, a classic.
According to Vatican chronicler Johann Burckhardt, he would specifically arrange for his stallions to be introduced to mares in heat outside his palace, and he'd stand up on his balcony to watch them violently mate.
Bro was definitely gooning. Bro was definitely horning, that's a word. Horning.
Which just tickled him pink for some fucking reason, and he'd laugh uproariously during the entire spectacle. He also once threw a party in the palace called the Banquet of Chestnuts, also referred to as the Joust of Whores. Wait a minute, horse jousting, horses banging. Was dyslexia a thing back then? Nah, but during the banquet, Alexander had 50 of Rome's finest raggedy harlots line up and strip down for him and his guests, which, by the way,
what the fuck is this? Why are all these popes the ultimate degenerate? The modern gooners are nothing to that compared to that.
Included 2 of his children, which, by the way, he had many children, but at this point hardly a concern. Guests began throwing.
Again, that doesn't surprise me. There's probably still children nowadays that are probably descendants of popes.
throwing chestnuts at the ladies, who got down on their hands and knees and scrambled frantically, like the cook at Denny's when I held him at gunpoint, trying to collect as many as they could. After this went on for a while, Alexander was like, alright kiddos, game time. Whoever can bang the most broads before the night's over wins Rome's finest silks, and the only condition is that anybody who makes a joke about nutting on someone's chest gets disqualified. It's too easy. This is all according to that one Johann guy, mind you. Some secondary sources differ pretty significantly on the more lurid details of all this. So,
dude, nobody won here. Nobody's winning here. The only thing you're winning is chlamydia. Or any other STD.
Do take it with a grain of salt, but at the same time, this guy was the official record taker for the ceremonies he was involved with, so it seems equally likely to me that the other guys just wanted to save a bit of face, but who knows. In the end, primary sources are usually the most reputable source of information. After all, what better way to learn about stuff than from people who have direct experience in the subject? That's why you need to try Skillshare. Skillshare is an online learning community with over 25,000 classes in design, business, technology, and more. Premium
We'll give homie his ad. He will give homie his ad, right? We'll give him that.
membership gives you unlimited access to high-quality classes on must-know topics, so you can improve your skills.
Because he's cool like that and puts ads at the end of his video, that's incredibly based.
Unlock new opportunities, and do the work you love. Let's say you have some kind of grand goal you want to achieve, like say, starting your own papacy and taking over the world. Skillshare's got all the resources you'd ever need to bring that goal to fruition. You got 10 ways to boost your natural charisma, very important with any new religion. How do the wealthy create tax-exempt wealth, that's a given. Basics of balloon twisting, just cause they say children are the most important ones.
Basics? And beyond balloon twisting. That's a book.
To indoctrinate, you know, the whole Joe Camel theory, etc. Join the more than 7 million people already learning on Skillshare today with a special offer just for my viewers. The first 500 people—
I don't share my skill. I have skill issue. What do you mean Skillshare? I have skill issue.
People who visit the link in the description will get 2 months of unlimited access to the 25,000 plus classes on Skillshare for absolutely free, so please, start filling up that void in your skull you call a brain today. Anyway, that's all for today. Till next time, I'm
Sam Onella.
and thank you for watching.
That was interesting. Yeah, interesting that these, well, we can tell that popes are not squeaky clean people. To be fair, that does not surprise me, to be honest. Yeah, but it's not surprising the popes are not squeaky clean people. I don't like our new pope either. He's like a really weird guy, and like weird shit comes from him as well, right? Like, he's weirdly pro-anti-abortion, and what are some other things? Yes, he's also kind of like the Vatican published like stuff like that Christians and Muslims believe in the same God. Like, you get the idea. He's a bit of an oddball. I don't like him at all. Not gonna lie. Anyways, thank you for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. I appreciate y'all. Take care, guys.